father-daughter duo in a moment, who has been taking their ideas of making fragrances and making it make sense. Folks, I'm so excited to be checking in with this duo in a few moments, and we're going to talk to them about how they're going into the fragrance industry, and most importantly, what does that mean, especially in building generational wealth for their families. Now, this is certainly something that we have always talked about, but it's always a good thing to talk to folks that are living this. But before we get to our very special guest, we also joined by another contributor here on The Culture. You also see him on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And this is our brother who serves as the host for the African History Network. You can check his work out at theafricanhistorynetwork.com. My brother Michael Imhotep is joining me this afternoon for a couple of these conversations as well. Brother Michael, it's always good to talk to you, brother. How are you today?
Hey, Faraji, I'm all right. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Just very quickly, as we our guests will be coming on, let's talk a little bit about this level of entrepreneurship and talking about this the path of building generational wealth. You know, I remember, Brother Michael, my dad has been an entrepreneur for years. He always had some idea on what to do on how to support the family.
Right.
But I remember he owned a small carryout / restaurant in Baltimore years ago, and worked hard at it. And, you know, it was in that time period, I remember as a child just going to the restaurant and helping out and doing what I can. I remember, you know, him often talking about having family and friends to be supportive. And we know that in business, sometimes they say that, you know, never bring your family into the same business that you're doing. But this is changing now because you can't build generational wealth without having family at the table. So I wanted to kind of get your take on this idea of going to work with your family, building a business with your family, and most importantly, you know, creating a sustainable capital where you can continue to support your family on a major level. What's your take on this?
Well, usually in my degrees in business administration with major marketing from Wayne State University, I taught entrepreneurship for 7 years. I managed African-American companies that had government contracts, City of Detroit, County of Wayne, State of Michigan, and family members worked in those businesses and adjacent businesses as well. Saying that you shouldn't go into business with family or shouldn't have family work in business, things like that. No other ethnic group or culture in the U.S. really operates based upon that. They just teach that to us. They just teach that stuff. They just teach us.
Wait a minute, hold on, bro, Michael. You're saying that that's not like across the board. That's mostly a black.
They had to have. Why did laws have to be created dealing with nepotism? Because people were bringing family into business. People were bringing the family into organizations. You look at a history of family-owned businesses created in this country, whether it's dealing with Walmart, whether it's dealing with and even Friends. Okay, whether you're dealing with Apple computers, but when we look at small businesses, okay, these are mom and pop stores. These are family-owned businesses, and then you have businesses that get handed down to the second generation to family. When you look at, and even if you look at the mafia, you're dealing with family. Okay, so they teach that to us because family is the foundation of African-American communities, African-American culture. When we look at the cooperatives and when we talk about cooperative economics, but understand the concept of cooperatives, these were the members of the cooperatives are part owners of the businesses. These are principles we brought with us from Africa. And when you look at a lot of businesses that we've had historically in this country, these were family-owned businesses, or they brought in family members, things like this. Now, the main thing that you want to understand is you want to make sure that you assign the correct position and duties and responsibilities to the right person. Okay, and this is something I teach in my entrepreneurship classes. If you know Kiki has anger management problems, don't put Kiki on the cash register dealing with customers. Because that's a ticking time bomb. Okay, you need to have her in the back stocking shelves. You need to keep her away from customers. But we go into gas stations, we go into grocery stores owned by Arabs and Chaldeans. You trying to tell me they don't have their family members working in there? You go in there during the summer, they have a 12 or 13-year-old behind the counter taking your money because he's the son and he's out of school and he's learning the family business to take over. They teach that to us. That's not how they operate.
Well, I'm glad that you brought. I'm glad you dispelled that myth for us, because I think that's been something that's been told. Like I said, I've been hearing that for years. So I'm glad that you you brought that up.
Yeah.
So
just make sure you have the right person.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
In the position. Some people should not be in the business, period, whether they're a family member or your worst enemy or your best friend. So make sure you have the right person. But no, that's a resource for us, our family. And if we focused on that, we could really focus more on and create more generational wealth.
Absolutely. Our very special guest is here. I want to welcome to the culture here on the Black Star Network, Mr. Brian Watkins. He's been curating since he was 11 years old when he started his passion with his daughter, Nora. He was inspired to leave behind a lasting legacy and to take on that idea of generational wealth to the next level. So together they founded the NYC-based olfactive scenting and scent marketing company called NORYAN. And their mission is to bring the power of scent to a worldwide community and help others create olfactory extensions of themselves. Folks, that is the website for NORYAN that Mr. Brian Watkins and his daughter, Nora, have created. Man, oh man, where there is scent, there are memories. Brian, welcome to the culture here on the Black Star Network. How are you doing, brother?
Thank you. I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm good. You're also joined by one of our contributors here, Michael Imhotep, who is a man about business, black businesses, particularly in the country and particularly in the city of Detroit. So, we wanted to have this conversation with you. First and foremost, congratulations, big brother.
Thank you
for kicking off this business venture. You got your daughter that's been working with you. Y'all are father-daughter duo. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so I can only imagine. I can't wait for the day she comes to me with a business idea and say, "Daddy, let's go in business together." I'll be like, "Okay, let's do
it." Yeah, man. That's the world right now. And I wanted to leave a legacy for her. I want to build something for her. I want to teach her about financial literacy and also teach her on how to do a business and just having that bonding relationship. I taught her how to make candles and just, teach her and everything in general. And that she's the co-founder. Her name's on everything. Her name's on the trademark and everything.
So first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about your history, your path to getting to this place. And then as you talk about bringing your daughter in, how did you get introduced to the olfactory business?
It was just like a calling. So when I was 11 years old, it's just, I don't know. I love smelling things. I always used to go to the boutiques where my mom went into these designer stores, and I just smelled. The sense of smell was just like great for me. And growing up, my mom couldn't, she wasn't buying us the high end fragrances or the high end colognes. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own. And wow. I went to different stores. I got oils. I got other bases, and I just started mixing. I didn't really know what I was doing at 11, but I just trial and error, and that's what happened at 11. And then moving on ever since, going on further. Even in college or wherever throughout my life, I've always had a lot of fragrances. I never liked to smell like anybody, and I was always attracted. The first thing when I go into a room or go into a place, the first thing I notice is the smell.
Wow.
Because 30% of what you smell, you remember. It's actually the first impression. So if something doesn't smell good, like, wow, you're always going to remember that the first time you saw something or the first time you interacted, it did not smell good. That's why you could smell something now, and that could trigger memories of your childhood. It could trigger memories of anything. The sense of smell, your olfactive, huge.
That is huge. So your mom cultivated this start for you to get into this business, right? And you're 11 years old. You're 11 years old, right? And so as a young black 11-year-old boy, you're like, oh, I want to go into like making sense. I want to, make candles. I want to go into the fragrance business. And so talk to us about, like, was your family open to that, or did they look at you and say, well, what? What are you talking about?
Nah. Yeah, something like what am I talking about? But they knew I was always into fragrance and scents. You know, I taught myself how to make candles. I taught
Really?
same thing, yeah. And I taught my daughter how to make candles. Just look up. You know, I'm a heavy researcher. Anytime I'm hyper focused on something, I want to know every and anything about it across every. Like I'll shut everything off and I'll just learn everything I need to know. So I did that years back in college. When I found out I was having a daughter, I actually wanted to teach her how to make candles. So again, when she came of age, I taught her how to make candles at the age of 5, and she made candles with me now, and she approve or sign off on the different scents that, you know, we create. And now I have perfumers that I have on the team as well, and where we create the scents, and she signs off on it as well.
Wow. Wow. All right, we got a couple of moments before we take our next pause. But Brother Michael, you want to share any questions for our brother as we're talking about this? Because I need to take a minute to just take in on his story right now.
Right. Well, hey, Brian, congratulations on the business and much success to you. You have mood boosting scents from what I understand. Can you give us some examples of how the different scents create a different mood? What type of mood do different scents create?
Oh, yeah. So a lot of people don't realize the psychology behind scenting. Scent invokes and triggers certain moods or certain reactions from consumers. It's huge in the business market, or certain business know about it. That's why, and what I do as well for different hospitality businesses, I create scents for them and I actually diffuse it in their establishment, because just like anything, when you go into some of these businesses or high-end hotels, you walk in and you just say, wow, it smells good in there. Yes, because now you're going to remember that scent of the hotel. Anytime you smell something similar, you're going to say, wow, I remember that hotel. Or when people speak about that hotel, you're going to I remember it smelling good. So when I sit down with clients, I say, what are you looking to try to invoke out these, from your customers? If you're trying to lift up the mood, if you're trying to have people be happy, you're trying to have people spend more, if you're trying to have people have a calm, relaxed mood, it determines what note and what type of oil I'm going to use for that particular scent. So citrus, for example, and, bergamot, orange, those are, it brings you up. It's lively. You feel good. It's mood boosting. Things like lavender, things like eucalyptus, it's relaxing. It calms you down. And those are just some of the things that, something like, like the woods, different type of woods, it gives you a more comfortable and just a relaxed and luxury vibe. So it all depends on what that person's looking for.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, these are things we learn in business school, because my degree's in marketing. So these are things in the foundation of marketing and psychology. So these are things marketers have known for decades. Very
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
And just like, if you see me in person, more than likely you'll never smell me wearing the same scent. I have my personal collection, I have over 600. And and I know every single smell of them. Yeah. So I have it broken down to seasons, times of days, occasions, you name it.
Hey, wait a minute, hold on, brother, hold on. Now, I love a good scent, man. Hold on. You got over 600 scents that you use personally.
Personal bottles.
Wait a minute, say it again.
Personal bottles, but I also have a lot of little decants too all over. So it's probably close to 1,000.
Now, are these all the 600 scents? Are those all scents that you made yourself?
Right.
No, so these are just in general. I appreciate scents from everybody.
Okay.
So, and I get inspiration from everything. So I want to smell, if something's unique, because people's like, oh, wow, this smells bad. No, I mean, you just don't like it. Scent is like a beauty, right? It's in the eye of the beholder. So I want to know how it smells, because I appreciate any type of scent, whether I find it good or whether I find it bad. I see the beauty in it, or I see, what it does.
I hear you. Hey, Brian, you're going to have the women that's watching today going crazy. Pauline checked in and said, there's nothing like a good smelling man. Pauline, get off of here, man.
And I have recommendations if you want something, And by the way, Mr. Hotep, right?
Imhotep, yes.
Yeah. I could see, of course, a Kappa knows how to smell good, because I see you a Sigma. You know,
Right.
I need some advice.
We know how to smell good too. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, you're right. Look, I gotta take a pause, man. Let me digest all this that you're sharing with us today, brother. We want to certainly continue the conversation with Brian Watkins of NORYAN. Him and his daughter have created NORYAN, an all-black, olfactory company with that speaks to your sense, folks. Look at this website. I just cannot get over how dope the website is. Where there is scent, there are memories. We're going to continue the conversation talking about NORYAN, entrepreneurship, and so much more. And, of course, get your questions and comments like Pauline. Pauline, I see you, sis. So stay with us. This conversation will continue on the other side, right here on The Culture on the Black Star Network. Folks, welcome back to the show. We have been talking to Brian Watkins, who serves as the co-founder of the olfactory scent and scent marketing company, NORYAN, a scent company that he is co-founder with his daughter, Nora. And Brian has been talking to us about what it means to be in that space, in that business, and also just blowing us away with his collection of scents of being between 600 to 1,000 different scents that he personally has in his collection, folks. Oh my gosh! I'm also checking in with my big brother, Brother Michael Imhotep, as we talk to Brother Brian Watkins. And I want to open up the conversation for you to join us in the discussion. So make sure you post your comments and your questions in the chat, as we would love to hear what you say. Brian, Brother Michael, Brian, I want to bring you back in. And Keena, let's do this, because folks are really interested in the fact that you got this Black-owned, New York City-based olfactory company, scent marketing company. So let's put up the website once again, Keenan, so people can see it. And this is NORYAN.com. Is that, am I correct on that, Brian?
Yeah, NORYAN.
NORYAN.com. NORYAN, NORYAN.com. And folks can indefinitely invest and order from you. So when they go onto your website, there we go. Thank you so much, Keenan. When they go onto your website, what can they do? Can they order scents? What can they do? What do you want them to do?
Yeah, so there's candles there that you could look at. Those candles have some of the candles have different scents from the diffuser and the diffuser oil. So you could order that, and then you could order the diffuser oil. And we also bringing it into that whole hotel experience. We're bringing it into your car with higher quality oil with our car diffusers. And there's a home diffuser there too. You could order as well. And then there's the oils and the scents that's, again, you fill up with that. You fill up the diffuser with our oil and our scents, which is made to handle our oil particularly.
Wow. And when you say our oil, what makes your oil different than someone else's or another company's oil?
Oh, higher quality. If you go, let me tell you, on this journey, I realized a lot of these companies, I don't want to say any names, but they don't use the best quality in their stuff. They use low quality, and because it's about their bottom line, I guess, but it's not a lot of high quality stuff. You might think just because you see the name that it's the best thing. A lot of the time it's probably not. But I wanted to make sure, because it's the love of it for me and my daughter. Like, we wanted the best, like we wanted the highest quality that we could use. We don't want to cut it and dilute it. That's something that a lot of companies do. They dilute and cut their oil down. So, you're not really getting the full effect of it.
Absolutely. So talk to us a little bit about getting into this space, because I'm not, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian and Brother Michael, I haven't heard of a Black-owned olfactory scent marketing company before, right? Like, I'm assuming that there aren't many of you in the space right now. Is that the landscape right now, bro?
Yeah, that's a correct assumption, because a lot of people don't even know about it. A lot of businesses don't know the effects that it could have on their particular business and on their customers. So a lot of people don't know. I've been in the whole fragrance space for a long time, and I've just studied the whole psychology and the effects of different fragrances and different notes and different just scents on you, on the human brain, and just on the person in general.
Right.
So yeah, and I've just, again, I'm always, you'll always catch me with some sort of scent on me smelling. I'm looking for inspiration anywhere. And that's how I don't know. I'm just wired like that.
And I'm glad that you are wired like this, because we need it. We need it. And Brother Michael, you know, when we're talking about breaking into a new space, like as a person who's a marketer, who understands the business dynamic, like when you're talking about breaking into a space like this, a space that has been dominated not just by white people, but just by companies, because I think a lot of us, we choose our sense based on the company that's putting it out there, more so, you know, when we don't see the face of the company, like we don't see who runs, I don't know, some of these major scent companies. So you know, to break into that industry, brother, it would seem like it is a Herculean task, is it not, Brother Michael? Oh, you got you on mute, bro. We got you on mute.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it is a Herculean task to get beyond just the stage where you may be a vendor at an event.
Yeah,
you just do it on the weekends.
Right,
and
right.
You have a table with the oils, things like this. To get to the level that Brian and his daughter is at is really a Herculean task. But also, you know, as he talked about, you have to do market research. You really have to study the business and figure out, okay, what niche can you create in the business? What can you do that is hard for other businesses to do as well? And when we look at the fragrance companies, whether it's Fenty or whether it's Polo or different, whatever fragrance it is, a lot of them have celebrity endorsers. Mm-hmm. And the celebrity endorser can become the face of the company. So you're competing against that. So you want to find what your competitive advantage is. And, you know, with Brian, he can really explain to people and educate people on olfactory senses and the type of moods it can put people in, and then also how they can use those fragrances as well to bring about the type of mood that they want also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, Brian, what would you say your competitive advantage is?
My knowledge. Same thing, my knowledge. Just like Brother Hotep was saying, yeah, a lot of these companies, they have the money, they have the budget, they hire you know, they hire stars, they hire people to market and promote. You know, they could do that. Me, I have my knowledge. I go around, I'm talking to you personally. I'm like, I have a love. It's a love for me. It's not like, yeah, let me just do it. No, it's a love. When I talk to you, you hear the passion, like, because it's a love. I want you and your place to smell good like mine, right? Or right. I want you to smell however you want to smell, because it doesn't have to be necessarily smell like me, but it makes me happy knowing that you love something and you just enjoy the smell of it. Like, it's great.
My Culture Crew member, Janelle, she's a loyal watcher of the show and Black Star. She said you have a fragrance called the Barbershop.
Yeah. So that scent was based after one of my good friends I went to college with. He's a Q, by the way. Name is Shawnee Fair, doing a lot of big things. He has a barber academy in Westchester called Westchester Barber Academy, where he opened up a school for young Black men, or just people in general, to teach them how to cut and actually give them their first experience in barbering. And he just opened up a salon as well. So I went there, and he, you know, again, he started out in the entrepreneur world, business world before I did. So he's like a mentor, and he gives me advice as well on certain things. So I created a scent that smells like the old school barbershop based off of his shop.
That is dope, bro. We got a few moments left, but I want to, you know, are there particular things that we need to keep in mind? Because I want to make sure that we support you and what you and your daughter are doing, brother. Because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So break it down for us. What kind of products can we expect from NORYAN?
Man, we just have a lot of things going on, and so you could expect candles right now. and the diffuser. So we want to stay in home and in the car. So our car diffuser is going to be something that's blowing up. Like, I can't even tell you, it's blowing up. And a lot of people want their car to smell luxury. They're tired of it smelling like, the tree thing hanging in their car. They want, they want that luxury smell. And I have
Brian, look, bro, look. I thought we were friends. You coming on here, you dissing my car and all that, bro.
Yeah, I didn't say who. I didn't say who. I didn't say who. I'm not dissing. I'm trying to help.
No, I get you. So what about so you say you got car air fresheners for the car. You got some candles. We know you have some personal grooming scents as well as part of your product line, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, grooming, that's something that, later on down the line, we're going to want to get into, like grooming and, things for kids and just enjoy. Like, I have so much that I want to do. I don't want to expose everything, but I want to turn it into, a bigger brand. I'm not going to limit myself with just diffusion and, candles. No, I want to get into, beauty. I want to get into, bath. I want to bring it there. And I wanted to bring it to the sense that, people in my culture and my community like and love, because that's what it's based off of too. And if I may say, I want to tell you a little bit about the branding of my company, because everything I do has meaning. So the name, of course, NORYAN, is a combination of my daughter and I, Nora and Brian, right? And it actually means a symbol of love. And going to the logo itself. So that logo I cleaned it up a little bit, and I'm a history major, and I was a history teacher. And that's an ancient African symbol for the letter W, which is my daughter and I last name, Watkins. So I cleaned it up to have it look like that. And if you look even deeper, right, it's an NY backwards. And it looked like the little crescent there. You could say you're going from the, bottom to the top. But if you look deeper too, it's a C, NYC, because that's where we're from.
There it is. Brother Michael, how important is that? Because that's dope as hell, bro.
The branding.
Yeah, the branding, man. He put a lot of meaning and thought into that joint.
Right. Well, and explaining the branding, if he explains it to customers, that helps them build a bond with him and his daughter as well. And that helps them identify the brand, distinguish it from other brands that they may see, other oils that they may see on the market. That's something fantastic, but that's something also his niche as well, to be able to create something like that and have meaning behind it. Absolutely.
Brother Brian, we got a couple of moments left, but I'm wondering, are your scents, one of our culture crew members, they wanted to know, CW, are your scents in stores at this point?
No, so we're working on distribution. It being more stores. So they're in 10 stores or in 10 states, stores in those particular states. We're in Texas, Seattle, Colorado, of course, here in New York, but I want to get it into more. And, just like Brother Hotep said, it is an uphill battle. It's a lot of work dealing and trying to get it into certain places and certain stores.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask this question, because you come on to this show, this show goes into far-reaching places that you may not be able to go. What is it that you need right now to take NORYAN to the next level?
I wanted to spread the word. I wanted to get into more places. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to spread the word. I wanted to blow, because we're ready. We're ready. We just need it to get there. We're ready.
So that distribution. So are you looking for any type of investors or any type of supporters at this point?
Right now, as far as investment, not really. Just more. The support would be, again, the product. And and on the business side, the B2B side, contracts. So contracts with more people, more businesses in the hospitality spaces.
Got you. Well, Brother Brian, you put that ask out there, and I'm a true believer that ask and you shall receive. So hopefully from this conversation today, some folks will start to reach out to you, connect with you, and take the brand to the next level. But I just want to say, on behalf of the culture here on Black Star Network, brother, man, you are fantastic. Big shout out to your daughter, Nora, man. And I'm looking forward to hearing about more great things coming from the two of you. And, trust and believe, brother, you always got a home for with us here on the Black Star Network to talk about the next step of your business. So congratulations and welcome home, bro.
Definitely. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. Again, this is not the last that you're going to hear of us, because, again, there's no stopping me, right? Because this is bigger than me. This is a legacy for my daughter. And that let me tell you, that right there alone, the times where you just like, oh my gosh, you just feel overwhelmed, that right there.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's your social, brother Brian? What's the social that we can connect with you on?
So Instagram, it's NORYAN_NYC. On Facebook, it's NORYAN, NORYAN. On even TikTok, it's same thing, at NORYAN_NYC. And that's the same thing for LinkedIn and Twitter.
There it is right there, folks. There it is right there. You got a new follower now, bro. Trust and believe. I'm about to follow you right now. So you got a new follower. Dope IG. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it, bro. Keep up the great work, man. Give our peace and blessings and love to your daughter, Nora. And God willing, we'll reconnect with you soon. All right?
Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, fam. Thank you. Folks, we got to take a quick pause. When we come forward, let's talk about the state of Florida and their fight against history with Brother Michael Imhotep. Stay with us. It's The Culture here on the Black Star Network. Brother Michael, we got 30 seconds. Go ahead with you.
Yeah.
I know you got your programs right.
Yeah, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday for the African History Network. January 21st, January 22nd, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. We have 2 free class sessions on Saturday, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa. Scroll down some. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And then scroll back up to the first class. And then Sunday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1865 to 1968. We'll deal with the Harlem Hellfighters. Scroll back up to the first class. The Harlem Hellfighters will deal with World War I and the Red Summer of 1919, when you had over 25 major race riots in this country. Visit our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. You can register for these 2 free class sessions.
Absolutely. Brother Michael Imhotep, host of the African History Network podcast show. Thank you so much, Brother Michael. We truly appreciate
thanks, Raji. Okay, welcome. How's everybody doing today? Hotep, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network and host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, writer, and historian. So I was on Faraji Muhammad's show, The Culture, today on January 19th, 2023. And at the end of the show, I made the announcement about 2 free online class sessions that I'm doing this weekend. Saturday, January 21st, 2023, we're doing another class session of my 16-week online course, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And this would be a free class session. So if you've been wanting to take my online course in the past, where we deal with thousands of years of history and what leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place, you can join us for a free class session. Visit our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, and register for it. And then on Sunday, January 22nd, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing another session of the second 16-week online course that I teach. From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1800 to 1968. So this class on Sunday will be a free class session as well. You can visit our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, and you can register for these 2 free online class sessions. And we do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch them anytime and just click right here for a free class session and register for it. And so even if you missed the class live, you can go back and watch it anytime. Okay. And you can register for the full 16-week online course. It's on sale $60, regularly $130. Okay. Just click right here to register here for Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade. And the second class that I teach on Sunday January 22nd. And this is our normal, normally our second class is on Tuesdays, but I'm doing a special session this Sunday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click right here for the free class session as well of from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1800 to 1968. And you can register here for the full class. So in our Sunday class, in this particular session, we're going to deal with World War I, which is 1914 and 1918. And we'll also discuss the Harlem Hellfighters, which is an all-black regiment in the U.S. Army fighting in World War I. We'll talk about the Harlem Hellfighters, and we'll also talk about the Red Summer of 1919, where you had over 25 major race riots in the country, in Chicago, Atlanta, Arkansas, etc. And you had African-American World War I veterans who fought against racist mobs, white racist mobs during the Red Summer of 1919. Okay, so we're going to talk about that on Sunday. In the class on Saturday, last class we started talking about Christopher Columbus and the history of Columbus. I shared excerpts from Dr. John Henrik Clarke's book, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, Slavery and the Rise of European Capitalism. So we'll get deeper into Christopher Columbus and how Columbus and his 4 voyages helped to spread slavery, racism, capitalism, and the exploitation of indigenous people, and then also leads to the Asiento de Negros being signed by King Charles V in August of 1518, which drastically expands the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, and then we'll get into the development of the triangular trade and England getting involved in slavery in 1562, etc. Okay, so we're dealing with this in our class on Saturday, January 21st, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade. You can register for these free class sessions. And even after the class is over with, you still have access to that free class session. You can go back and watch it as much as you want to. But you can also, we also have both classes in a course bundle. Okay, so you can register for both classes for only $100. That is at least a $260 value. So click right here for register here for the course bundle as well. Okay, so we have all that information right on the homepage of our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. So when you scroll down, it has the information about my radio show, Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., the African History Network show on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF here in Detroit. We also broadcast on our social media platforms when we're live on Facebook, the African History Network, YouTube, Michael Imhotep, and the Michael Imhotep Show also on Facebook. We have a PayPal and Cash App information here, so you can support us as well. We definitely need your financial support. This information here is about the Happy Day of Excellence taking place Saturday, February 4th. 2023, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. in New York City. Professor James Small, Professor Kabahaya Watha-Kamene will be there speaking, 2 of my teachers. So click right here for more information and to register and to purchase your ticket. You can also live stream the event as well. And then we have the information here for the courses, okay, right below that, the course bundle as well as the individual classes. If you've taken any of my online classes in the past that I've been teaching going back to 2017, email us for a 50% discount on the course bundle. Email me at ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com, ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com, or you can email me right through the website. At the top of the page, just click on Contact the African History Network. All right. So with these online classes, I developed a curriculum for them. I've been studying, I'm a historian. I've been studying history 31 years. And Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, I've been teaching that going back to 2017, on and off since 2017. Very briefly here, if we just look at a brief overview of the class, and let me pull this up here. So I do a PowerPoint presentation. We have book references, articles in the class, also share some interviews I've done with some of our scholars as well. Okay, so in the let's go to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so I developed the curriculum, I developed the PowerPoint presentation for both of these courses. Okay, so we can't start studying our history and slavery even when we study the transatlantic slave trade, which is important to study. We can't start in 1619 or the 1440s when the Portuguese get involved, like 1441, when the Portuguese get involved in the transatlantic slave trade. We have to understand the history chronologically and deal with the 800-year occupation of Europe by the Africans known as the Moors, who enter into the Iberian Peninsula, today known as Spain and Portugal, from North Africa in 711 AD. This course not only deals with the transatlantic slave trade, but it also deals with thousands of years of history that leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place, the transatlantic slave trade of African people taking place. August 20th, 2019 marked the 400th year anniversary of the 20 and odd Africans who came into Point Comfort in, really it was Hampton, Virginia, on August 20th, 1619, in what would be called the colony of Virginia. Okay. And one of the things we do within the class is how a lot of what we know about 1619 is false. All right. And codified slave laws didn't even exist in any of the 13 colonies when those 20 and odd Africans from Angola came in 1619. But also African people have been in the land we call the United States of America going back at least 51,700 years. So this year was known as the year of return, as many African Americans were and continue to reconnect to Africa, and they would travel into Ghana and other West African countries. When we discuss the transatlantic slave trade, we have to first understand that African people are the original people of North, Central, and South America. And we have been in the land we call the United States of America going back at least 51,700 years. Now, this does not mean that the transatlantic slave trade did not happen. That's not what I'm saying. What we have to understand is that African people have been in this land we call the United States of America, or what Native Americans call Turtle Island. We've been here going back tens of thousands of years before we were told that we came here. Okay, so we have to understand the difference. We did not first come to this land conquered and shackled and chained by Europeans. Okay, and that is mentally damaging for people to believe something like that. They first came to this land conquered and shackled and chained. No, this was actually our land stolen from us. And one of the books that we use in the class is Dr. David Imhotep's book, The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence. Okay, and he's a friend of mine. I've interviewed Dr. David Imhotep a number of times. And so some of you have seen the interviews, have heard the interviews that I've done with him. And this was his first book, The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence, which came out in 2011. And his new book, The First Americans Were Africans, Revised and Expanded, came out in 2021. And page 14 of his book deals with the discovery made in Allendale County, South Carolina, by Dr. Albert Goodyear, who's an archaeologist at the University of South Carolina. This discovery was made in 2004 that documents an African presence in the Georgia, South Carolina area going back at least 51,700 years. And they found 13 different types of evidence, documenting this African presence. They found artifacts, architecture, campsites, carvings, Egyptian writings, footprints in lava, genetic M174D haploid groups dealing with DNA and genetics, linguistics, painting, skulls, skeletons, structures, and tools. All right. So we get deep into this information in the class. And then so that's on Saturday, January 21st, 2023. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. Kemet is one of the original names for Egypt, and the Maafa is a Kiswahili term, which is in reference to the Great Disaster, which is the transatlantic slave trade. So visit our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, to register for these free class sessions for both classes, and you could register for the full class, which you can also use with your children. I would say the content is PG-13. It's very visual. We have a text chat in the class so you can ask questions. You can see me, I can't see you. We have book references, articles, video clips, and for the books, usually I show you the text of the pages that we're looking at on the screen. So it's very engaging as well. Okay. All right. So watch out for me on Roland Martin Unfiltered on Fridays on the Black Star Media Network, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm a panelist on Roland Martin Unfiltered. I'm not just a historian, I'm a political commentator as well. You can watch on Facebook and YouTube, Roland Martin on Facebook and YouTube, or download the Black Star Media app. And then also usually on Mondays, I'm on Faraji Muhammad show, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Black Star Media Network as well. And then my show, the African History Network show, Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF here in Detroit. But we also broadcast on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network, the Michael Imhotep Show, and my personal page, Michael Imhotep, as well as on my YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, IMHOTEP. You can download the iHeartMedia app and search for 9:10 a.m. Superstation and listen live, or the iTunes radio app and listen live. And you can listen to our audio podcast wherever you get your podcast from. Search for the African History Network show. We're on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Castbox, FM Player, TuneIn, a number of different audio podcast platforms. Okay. All right. And if you like this type of information, you can support the African History Network, $, the AHN show through Cash App, $, the AHN show through Cash App. Also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. So this helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting, pay some of the bills, pay for these various services that I use, purchase more equipment, upgrade the laptop, etc. Okay, so we definitely appreciate and need your support. If you want me to do special customized classes, email me through the website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, about that. And we could do group classes if you want it for your church, study group, organization, etc. If you want shorter classes, instead of this time around is 16 weeks. Normally this is a 12-week online class, but if you want a 6-week class, 8-week class, etc., email me at theafricanhistorynetwork.com. We can set that up. And African American History Month is coming up. Black History Month is coming up. I have fantastic presentations for Black History Month, dealing with the origins of Black History Month, dealing with also what the annual theme of Black History Month is as well. This year's annual theme is dealing with Black resistance for African American History Month, and I have some powerful content dealing with that. Okay. All right. So remember, right now is correct. Wrong behavior is not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And we'll talk to you next time.